Hey folks, welcome back. Today, blackberry propagation. And the reason why, it's a day where I'm just kind of putzing around the garden. I'm mulching and wood chipping beds and pathways. I'm pulling some weeds. And I'm around my first blackberry patch, and I'm right at my Prime Ark Freedom. Favorite variety that I have. And at the base, just cleaning up a little bit, I saw what could be 5 new plants. And I say that because they're first year canes. I don't know from what part of the root system they're coming off of, but I don't need them to fruit next year because I've got plenty of fruit out here, and they're probably gonna take a little bit of energy away from the crown that isn't necessarily beneficial. And I wanna see if we can make some new plants from it. So let's take a look. So here is the base of the plant. And it's really hard to see what's going on in there. I actually have probably too many canes coming out of this thing, but yeah, we'll leave most of those in there. But what I have here, if we take this guy back out of the way, and I wonder if I can get him to sort of tuck back behind my wire. Oh, hooray, that worked out well. I've got this patch right here. I got 1, 2, 3, and then these long guys, maybe 6 plants possibly in there. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get this out without destroying too much of the root system, and hopefully these have some little attached roots that can feed in some compost when I get them potted up. But let's dig these things out and see what they look like. It'll be a fun little exercise. Yeah. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of root that this guy would be attached to, but let's see how, if I can find out where he's attached. Ah, there we go. Nope. So yeah, not sure what on him we're going to be able to salvage, but when I put him in the pot, I'll probably bury him up relatively high, because this node right here looks a little dead, but there might still be enough life in there to push out a root system. I'll put him to the side for now. What else we got? Yeah. Okay, that's what I was afraid of for this guy. Brought no roots with him. Again, I'll probably bury him up to there and see if any of these guys want to throw out roots. And this guy here, we'll just probably snip him off. See if anything there wants to take. Ah, okay, yeah. So there you go. That's a big old plant right there. That's a lot of plant going on there, isn't it? So now we're going to see what we can do with this. Who's got roots, who doesn't? All right, so we're over by the compost now, and let me show you what we got. So we've got this long guy, probably about 1.5 feet. He's going to go in a 3-gallon. Second long guy, another 1.5 feet at least, if not 2 feet, 3-gallon. And then we got 4 of these little guys. This is actually a pretty good sized one. He might go 3-gallon as well. These 3 guys, they're going to go 1 gallon, or number ones. Number ones are technically smaller than 1 gallon, but I've got plenty on hand, so we'll probably do that. They may or may not root out, but what we're going to do is we're going to grab 6 pots, 3 of each size. That's going to be our potting mix, and I'll top off with some wood chip just because that's how I like it to look. We'll get them watered in, see what we're looking at, and then at that point, it's fingers crossed to see who roots out. For me, the cool thing about this is, I mean, what did we do? Just rip some plants out of the ground, and if these take 6 new blackberry plants from a Prime Ark Freedom, I mean, 2 years from now, that could be, what, 7, 8 pounds of berries off 6 plants each? Almost 50 pounds? That's pretty awesome. This is a number 1. I'll just usually put some compost at the bottom, just like that. Take this little guy who's got that kind of root system thing going on. I'm just going to rest him in there. Backfill around him with more compost. Kind of tamp it down a bit as I'm working, just to make sure that the roots are in good contact with the potting mix. Leaves me some headspace around the top for some wood chip, just to have a little bit extra mulch. And the wood chip's gonna, I mean, it's not really do much other than add just a little bit of extra insulation. Not really necessary, but it saves me a bit of compost, and it looks really pretty. Pretty as a picture, and gonna get even prettier once we get some wood chip on top. We'll set them up on a table outside and toss some water on them. And in a few days when we have a really hard freeze, we'll put them under cover just to be on the safe side. Quick follow-up. This is what I ripped out of the ground, and I'm wondering if it's still alive. And this is my other blackberry row over here, and I'm kind of wondering if I should bury him right there and see if it lives. What you think? Good idea, bad idea, waste of time? I'm not sure either. I'm planting him. Now, does this wood chip process actually make sense or matter? Probably not. I don't know. I just started doing this about a month ago when I was potting up some of my figs, just because I don't know, I felt like doing it. I guess I kind of had the attitude of, what's the worst that can happen? I can't imagine much bad. Plus, I don't know, I kind of like the way the pot looks with the mulch layer on top. Maybe it keeps a little bit of extra moisture in. I don't know. I can't imagine it's going to stunt the plant in any way. It's not like the wood chips are in contact with the root system. And who knows, maybe the wood chips that are in contact with the compost would offer a little bit of an organic matter diversity that the compost can feed, the organisms of the compost can feed off of, and make the soil or the potting mix in this pot a little more resilient. In the end, most of what I do, I just make up as I go. He is not as on center as I wanted to be, but oh well, he's happy. Maybe. Now, if I were smart, I would figure out where I want to store these separately from the other ones, so that from a video standpoint, we could actually watch the progression of these, see who lives, see who doesn't, and see what happens over the next 6 months or so. Yeah, maybe I'll make that effort. And I'll probably throw the other two in there as well for a continuation of the video. I think it's a good idea. Alright, let's move these over to the table. So if you ask me how confident am I that they're going to survive, I'd feel better about them if I was doing this earlier in the season, but if it was earlier in the season, well, they wouldn't have been out of the ground at this point because they all just came on kind of late. But I've done this process before. After we get these watered in, I'll show you the little greenhouse that I've got, because every blackberry plant that I have in there was treated the exact same way. A couple of them may have been cuttings, but for the most part, they were all just ripped out of the ground with or without a root system, stuck in a pot, and some didn't make it, some did, but everybody's in there has kind of been treated just the way these guys were. Good enough. As promised, let's go to the greenhouse. This is just a $100 Harbor Freight jobby, 6x6, and I put these tables in here with just some old wire. And yeah, so these are the blackberries that I've got left over from this fall, or from the spring and summer. Everybody here had a root system last I checked. This guy here might be on his way out. He actually lived for the most part of the season, but he's just really struggling. But these guys, just little ones, they've all had roots at some point for the most part. I'm not worried about how they're going to hold up this winter. I think they should be fine. The question is whether or not they break dormancy in the spring. And if they do, then they're probably going to be plants that are going to stay for a while. But yeah, I mean, if I still see some level of green on these things, I've got to think they're okay. I think this guy came out of the ground without a without a root system at all. And I'm pulling on him right now. I don't like these leaves, obviously. I think he's not really a happy camper. But I pull, and I get a bit of resistance. So there may be a root in there. I don't know, but I don't want to take a chance and start, pulling on him too hard to see what he's got under there. He is what he is at this point. So yeah, that's just propagating a few blackberries, and maybe it's successful, maybe it's not, but it gave you an idea when you have one growing out like that from the ground, what you can expect if you actually do pull it out of the ground. Sometimes you're gonna have a root, sometimes you're not. The question is, are you gonna take it and throw it in the compost, or are you gonna put it in a pot and see if you can grow it out? I usually do the latter. And that's how you wind up as a family of 2 with 35 blackberry plants in the garden, because someone like me is gonna do something like that. It's all fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.